What if I told you that there's a gate in Jerusalem that's been sealed shut for almost 500 years, and ancient prophecies say it will only open when the Messiah arrives? And what if recent events around this mysterious gate are making believers around the world pay very close attention? Stay with me, because what's happening at Jerusalem's Golden Gate is absolutely fascinating from a historical perspective. So let's talk about this gate. The Golden Gate isn't just any entrance in Jerusalem's wall. This historic structure sits on the eastern side of the city, facing the Mount of Olives. For thousands of years, this gate has witnessed incredible history: wars, celebrations, religious ceremonies. But here's what makes it remarkable. This gate is mentioned in ancient biblical texts and holds deep significance for multiple faith traditions. I'd really appreciate it if you could like this video right now. It helps more people discover these important signs. Think about that for a second. We're talking about a physical structure that's been standing there for centuries, and ancient writings specifically reference what would happen with it. The architecture of the Golden Gate itself tells an incredible story. Built during the Byzantine period, this massive stone structure features two arched openings that once allowed pilgrims and visitors to enter the holy city. The craftsmanship is remarkable. Huge limestone blocks fitted together with such precision that they've withstood earthquakes, wars, and centuries of weathering. Archaeological evidence suggests there may have been gates in this exact location going back to the time of Solomon's temple, making this one of the most historically significant entrances in the entire world. The layers of history here are absolutely mind-blowing when you think about it. Here's where the history gets really interesting. In ancient Jewish tradition, many believed that divine presence would appear at this very gate. The prophet Ezekiel wrote about this gate in his visions. According to his writings, he was told that this gate would remain shut because the Lord had passed through it, and it would stay closed until a future time. Many people of faith have interpreted these writings in different ways throughout history, but the consistent theme is that this gate holds special significance for future events. And make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss these incredible historical discoveries we uncover every week. What's particularly fascinating is how this prophecy has played out through actual historical events. We're not just talking about ancient religious texts here. We're looking at real, documented history that seems to follow these ancient predictions with remarkable accuracy. The location of the gate is also incredibly significant. It sits directly across from the Mount of Olives, which holds its own deep religious meaning in both Jewish and Christian traditions. From this gate, you can see the ancient olive trees that may have been standing during biblical times. Historically speaking, many scholars believe Jesus entered Jerusalem through this gate during what Christians call Palm Sunday, an event that fulfilled ancient predictions about how a coming king would arrive. So when did this gate actually get sealed up? Well, it's been closed and reopened several times throughout history, but the most significant closure happened in 1541. The Ottoman Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent ordered his workers to seal up the gate completely with stone walls. Historical records suggest he may have done this because he was aware of the religious significance this gate held for both Jewish and Christian communities. After they sealed the gate, a cemetery was built directly in front of it. This added another layer of complexity to the site's religious significance. Over the centuries, there have been several attempts to reopen this gate, and interestingly, each attempt has been prevented by historical circumstances. During the Six-Day War in 1967, there were discussions about opening the sealed entrance, but religious leaders advised against it, believing it should remain closed until the appropriate time according to their faith traditions. There was also an attempt in 1967 by local authorities to modify the gate, but political changes in the region's control prevented this from happening. It's remarkable how historical events seem to preserve this gate's sealed status. Now here's why this story is so current. Recent reports suggest something significant has happened around the Golden Gate area. Various sources and eyewitness accounts indicate that there's been increased religious activity and attention focused on this sealed entrance. People are reporting renewed interest from religious communities and scholars who see current world events as potentially connected to ancient prophecies about this gate. If these observations are accurate, We could be witnessing a truly significant moment in religious history. Now, here's something fascinating. Different religious communities view this gate's significance in meaningful ways. In Jewish tradition, there's an expectation that the Messiah will enter Jerusalem through this gate, bringing peace and restoration. In Christian tradition, many believe that Jesus Christ will return through this same gate, fulfilling ancient prophecies from both Ezekiel and other biblical writers. The book of Revelation describes a future return that will be visible to all people, and many Christians see the Eastern Gate as connected to these future events. These aren't secretive beliefs. They're central to how millions of people understand their faith and view future hope. So you might be wondering, this is fascinating history, but what does this mean today? For people of faith, these developments represent hope and encouragement. Rather than causing fear, many see current events as reasons to strengthen their beliefs and stay attentive to what's happening in the world. Ancient texts encourage believers to stay watchful and prepared, viewing current times as opportunities for spiritual growth and readiness. The continued sealed status of this gate serves as a powerful reminder to many people of faith that ancient writings remain relevant and trustworthy. Looking at this objectively, we can't predict exactly what will happen with the Golden Gate tomorrow. But here's what we can observe. The historical events surrounding this gate align remarkably well with ancient biblical writings. Consider the sequence. The gate gets sealed exactly as ancient texts suggested it would. Multiple attempts to force it open have been prevented by historical circumstances. And now, after 500 years, it remains sealed, exactly as prophecy indicates it should until the appointed time. From a historical perspective, that's an extraordinary series of events that seem to follow a very specific pattern. For centuries, people of faith have looked at this gate as a symbol of hope and future fulfillment of ancient promises. Its continued sealed status, despite numerous attempts to open it, many consider historically and spiritually significant. Ancient biblical texts have proven historically accurate in many instances. For people who believe in these writings, the gate's preservation suggests that future events described in these texts may also come to pass exactly as predicted. What do you think about this remarkable historical development? Are we witnessing ancient writings being preserved through real historical events? Share your thoughts in the comments. I genuinely read every single one of them. Thanks for joining me on this incredible historical journey. Make sure to check out the next video I'm putting on your screen. It's another amazing story about ancient predictions and modern developments you won't want to miss.